Welcome to another baking session with Ruby, and on today's episode we are baking not just one cookie but three cookies for the holidays. Interesting, isn't it? Let's get into class. So first off, we're starting with our chocolate chip cookies. Here are my ingredients. Just read the recipe down below, the caption. You'll see the measurement and the recipe for these three types of cookie we are baking today. The first thing we are going to do is to add our sugar into the bowl. We are using two types of sugar, the white and the brown sugar. So you add your eggs too, and then add in your melted butter. I prefer to use butter for my cookies because it gives it a richer and lovely texture. So you whisk all this together in your bowl, or you can use your hand mixer or your table mixer depending on the quantity of the batch of cookies you're making. If you're making a large cookie, you can use a bigger mixer to mix. So you whisk everything together till it is properly mixed. Add in your flavor, and then the next thing you do is to fold in your dry ingredients. Make sure to sieve your flour, then you fold it in. I have my dry flour there. I also have my salt and baking powder inside. So you just whisk together till it is properly mixed. Next thing now is to add in your chocolate chips. Feel free to use as much as chocolate chips you want to use, even though the measurement is down below in the caption. You can have fun with your chocolates if you love chocolate like I do. So the next thing you do is to wrap up your dough in a cling film or in a clean cellophane bag and place in your freezer or your fridge and let it cool for like 30 minutes to 1 hour before we now cut and bake. So let's move on to the next stage of our baking, and in this session we are going to be baking our butter yummy cookies. Very easy to make. So there I have my butter in my pan, and I'm going to be adding sugar, and I'm going to be whisking this till it is soft and fluffy. Next stage after whisking properly is to add in my eggs. Make sure to use eggs that are fresh and good so that your cookie comes out very nice. So I mix this together well and properly. Then I add in my milk. At the end of the day, you have this buttery, milky taste in your cookie, which is very, very nice. So you can choose the type of flavor you want. I'm using vanilla flavor here. If you want something else, you can feel free to add that. So I whisk that together, make sure it's properly mixed. Then I add in my dry ingredients, which is my flour and my baking powder, and just fold it in properly till it's properly mixed. After mixing properly, so we now get our pan ready, and there my dough is already in my piping bag, and I'm using this type of nozzle. Feel free to use whichever type of nozzle you want. The type of nozzle you use will give you the type of design that your cookie comes out with. So pipe away as many as you can and enjoy the piping process. So off we go to the next type of cookie that we will be baking. This is the next cookie we are baking, and that is our red velvet cookie. So I have just like my chocolate chip cookies, I have my sugar, the oil, and the egg in this bowl. I'm going to be mixing it properly, then adding my flavor to make. You can choose whatever type of flavor you want. Just mix everything nice and done properly, and then the next thing you do is add in your red color. Now you can choose to use your powder. I'm using powdered red color. You can use the liquid red color if you want. Now I'm not going to be using cocoa powder in this recipe because I'm using chocolate. Okay, so the next thing we are doing is to add our dry ingredients, which is our flour and our rising agent. So you just fold that in properly till it's properly mixed. If this is your first time on this channel, make sure to, before you leave, please like this video and subscribe to my channel where I give you baking ideas, baking recipes and all that all the time. So the next thing you do is to add your chocolate chip cookies and mix it in properly. Like I said, I'm using chocolate, so I'm not using cocoa powder. Where do you get chocolate from? From cocoa. So with that, our red velvet, because your red velvet must have a hint of chocolate in it for it to be called a red velvet. So just like my chocolate chip cookies, this is going into the freezer and I'm going to be cutting it when after an hour or so. So our dough is out of the freezer. You can see how cold it is, and now the next thing we do is to cut into our desired shapes. The interesting thing and beautiful thing about making cookies is that you can make them weeks ahead of time, and you can also make large batches that you can store up properly and give to family and friends as at when you desire to do so. So cookies are a great treat for the holidays. If you are just coming to my channel for the first time, please subscribe and like this video, and also drop a comment about how you made your own cookies for the holidays. I would really love to hear from you. As you can see, we are done with rolling our cookie dough, and the next thing, it goes into the oven to bake for 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure to preheat your oven. And next thing is you're ready to have fun eating your lovely cookies for the holiday. Don't just make this alone, share with family and friends and have a wonderful time eating and enjoying your holiday cookies. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and thank you for watching. Till next time when I bring you another recipe in our holiday series.